Hi, it's Clark on Temptress, and today I'm going to do my June 2025 adventure log. This is where I kind of just keep you all up to date on what's going on in my life. Not a particular how-to video, but just a hi. Well, hi. Let's get the big thing out right away. I'm going to talk about the cancer. It's going really, really well. First off, I want to thank everybody who's been giving me well wishes and support and advice. It's been really helpful, particularly when I was in bed and in pain with all the surgeries. You know, I had like 3 months of just surgery after surgery. And, you know, it was nice to have people that cared about me and I could just sit there and read my phone and have something to do because it was a tough time. So thanks a lot. It really is nice to have friends, even if they're virtual friends. The cancer itself. Let me back up a little bit. I had a local cancer doctor that I didn't have any respect for, quite honestly. He gave me some unnecessary tests, basically because he owned the equipment, if you ask me. He never was prepared for a meeting. Though he would end every meeting with all the work he's going to do to prepare for the next one. It just absolutely unimpressed me. I think he's just gaming the system to get as much insurance money as he can. So I got a guy at Moffitt, and I know Moffitt. Moffitt is a cancer institute in Tampa. It's a ways away from me, but I used to keep the boat in Tampa. I used to date a surgeon at Moffitt, and well, you know, I was on their dragon boat team. You know, I was in that social circle. And when you're in the social circle of an institution, whatever kind, a company, whatever, you get a vibe for how they are. I mean, there's places where the workers just like hate their job and it's just something they do. And then there's people that are excited to go and really, you know, are into helping people. And that's how Moffitt seemed. So I felt a lot better talking to this guy, and I still do. He turned me on to the other cancer tests. Anyway, I feel like I'm doing the right thing. So there's this test that I get now. It's called Ciguatera. It's the same wording, the same pronunciation, I should say, as that fish disease we can get when we're sailing and we eat reef fish. It's a bioaccumulating toxin. It has nothing to do with that, and it's spelled differently. What they do is they take some of my tumor, which is in a lab frozen somewhere, of course, and look for the genetic differences in it that caused it to go crazy. And then they've got a test where if they take some blood from me, they can look in that blood and see if there's any of this running around. And of course, if it's running around, it can light somewhere, that's a metastasis, that's bad news. So every 3 months, I get that test. Well, I just got the results from my first Ciguatera test, absolutely clear. So I'm feeling good. PET scan came back clear, that came back clear, and the surgeries that went for lymph nodes and stuff like that went back clear. So all indications are the cancer was in the tumor inside the appendix. The whole appendix was cut out, thrown in the bin, and there's nothing left in me. So excellent there. Treatment-wise, I didn't need chemo. I didn't need radiation. It's kind of as good as it could be because surgery seems to have done the trick. And I've got people watching really closely. I've been told if they see it traveling around, I'll get lots of CAT scans. And if they find it settling anywhere, they'll be catching it when it's like seriously 100 cells. And they'll hit me with so little irradiation, it just, you know, it's just an afternoon thing, kind of like a suntan. But they'll be able to wipe it out because it'll be so small and then continue. So I'm really optimistic this thing is beat. One thing I am doing for treatment, though, just kind of on my own, it had to do with some people, you know, you guys that sent it in. I had heard about this, but I don't know, slipped my mind because, you know, so many other things. But ivermectin. I've been using ivermectin, I think with good success, to keep me from catching COVID. And once when when Emily had caught COVID, I gave her the big girl dose of ivermectin along with the vitamins that go along with it. And she kicked that one real fast. We've had this a few times and it's been tough for us. At the same time, I took the prophylactic dose And I could kind of feel like a battle was going on, and then it was over. So I think it works. So now whenever I get on an airplane or something like that, I do a little ivermectin. Looks like it's really effective for cancer. It looks like it also isn't very detrimental to human beings. So I decided, what the heck, if the downsides are very small and the upsides are potentially saving my life, I'm going to do it. So I took a couple fairly large doses of ivermectin, and we'll see, of course, but it was a thing to do. Made you feel like have some agency. At first, I was toying with going into ketosis and doing like hyperbaric oxygen and all of this. And if I had another tumor, I'll probably go down that path. I'll do everything that medicine says to do, but what the heck? I'll do these other things too. Anyway, enough of that. I think I'm sort of past the actual scare of the cancer. I'm not past the recovery though. I was in a deep hole. Like every day, every week, I felt better. And you think like, oh, I'm improving so well, like in 3 weeks, I'll be done with this. The hole was really deep. Having all those surgeries really beat me up. So I'm coming back. The musculature is still very swollen here. The surgeon said that could be a year before it really goes back where it's supposed to be. So I honestly, I'm not as fat as I look. A lot of this is swollen muscle, especially on this side. I've been riding my bike, getting out, doing things to build up the endurance again. Lying on the couch for 3 months or in bed for 3 months doesn't help with your endurance, especially when you're over 60. I've been getting out and socializing a lot more. I've been dating a bit, which is really nice. Last summer, I just kind of couldn't bring myself to it, and I knew it wasn't because of the divorce. I was more or less over that pretty quick. There was some reasons it was a good thing for me, but I didn't know it, but I had cancer, for God's sakes. I didn't know it because that's not like a symptom of, but I was exhausted all the time and I had real trouble breathing. I was just coughing my guts out all the time. So I didn't do much all that summer. I'm feeling generally better now than I did last summer. Had a few projects this month. Probably the one that has taken the most time is this battery review. I've had this battery for quite a while. This is the new Epoch battery, and it has some issues. I'm working with Epoch, trying to help them solve the issues. They see the issues, they're going to be fixing them. So, I don't think this one is ready for me to review yet, exactly. But God, did it take a lot of my time to do the reporting back to them and talking to them and such. That was like a whole week almost of time. Not that I had to be at it all the time, but I would set up tests that would take all day to run. And then I would, watch a movie or whatever and do other things, come back. But I had to monitor it for a solid week. At the end of that week, the worst thing that can happen during the summer in Florida happened. Okay, not cancer, but pretty bad. My house air conditioner failed. If you don't live in the South or in the humidity of Florida, you don't know how tough it is. So the new one came in and I installed it. And of course, I wanted to install that properly. So it involved lots of combing to cover the lines to make it look like a nice install. That was a lot of work, and really it took a lot out of me. I'm still not super strong, and in the heat, my endurance wasn't great. And I still get a lot of physical pain from the musculature here. I have to strap myself into a compression belt to even think of lifting anything. But I got it done. I think it took me 3 days, and then I rested afterwards. Even my leg muscles were so sore from not having done enough work lately that it felt like I had gone skiing for the first time in the season. You know how that feeling is. You've been lying around during the summer doing less, then you go out and ski moguls, and your body says, oh yeah, you better work up to that. Well, that's what I felt like. So, yeah, it was tough. But I'll get my body back. If nothing else, that encouraged me I should. I'm usually in good enough shape that at a drop of a hat, I'm ready to cross oceans and grind winches and, single-handedly move that boat. That's a lot of physical. And I can see I'm not really ready for that yet. So, I'm riding my bike more, I'm doing more things, and, hopefully it'll come back. I'm still relatively young. I'm in really good shape, so I think it'll come back just fine. I'm hoping to get out to Temptress so I can show you videos of Clark actually on Temptress this fall. After hurricane season, of course, because, the DR is just kind of hot and sticky. So that's kind of my long-term plan. It's going to have a lot to do with medical testing. I'm supposed to have this test every 6 months. If these keep going well, then I'm going to be free to go back to the boat. If not, I think going back to the boat's important for me, my mind, for the boat, of course. I have friends watching her, but, I'm not there. So the airplane tickets really don't cost that much, and it's not that inconvenient. So I could just, park the vehicle in long-term storage near the airport, fly to the DR, spend 2-3 weeks, come back, and drive back to the house so I don't have to set up a ride or anything. Anyway, that's my plan. So I'm going to get back there, do some work on the boat, get her ready to be an ocean crosser again. And if this keeps clear by winter, maybe I can do the Bahamas. I really hope to do that. There's also still that chance of taking the RV someplace out west, maybe, as long as I get at it before it starts getting cold. Right now, it's just like optimal time. Another project I've been doing is I have this friend, and I'm helping her set up a YouTube channel. I'll put a link below to whatever she has to link to now. She's still just getting going. She doesn't have any videos finished yet. But we filmed some stuff, and her name's Paula. I know her very well. We used to date many years ago. So, with an accountant, you kind of always worry about it because they're kind of doing stuff that you don't really want to do. So you don't want to watch over their shoulder. And of course, they're right in with your money. So, you got to trust them. Let me tell you this. I trust Paula. I know how her mind works because, we were dating. And I recommend her. So if you need an accountant, in Florida or wherever, she could be your person. Also, she dives into things, and we're kind of setting her up partly to do this set of videos about, well, I'll get into that in a minute, but also she's been asked by universities to teach a course. That all kind of fell apart during COVID, but she does forensic accounting. She does things that most accountants can't do. So we're going to try to do some videos on those topics. If you have a YouTube channel, you really probably want to talk to Paula. Actually, if you have anything creative business-wise, she has this system she's put together. It's something the IRS, perfectly legal, but you can turn your intellectual property, your personal intellectual property, into a write-off. I guess that's about it for what's been going on this month. And the months before, of course. Life's coming back to normal, I'm starting to feel like a human being again. And I feel happy. And that means a lot. Bye from Clark on Temptress.